Cars Podcast. Panorama's #1 source for news, reviews, and thoughts about the new wave rock legends, the Cars. Oh, and a little bit of Steel Wool, Sunshine and Rainbows.
Hey, happy Friday, or Saturday, or Sunday, whenever it is we post this. Welcome to Night Thoughts, the Cars Podcast, episode 21. With Dave, Donna. I'm Dave, Miss Steel Wool, and with me always is my co-host, Miss Sunshine and Rainbows, Donna. How's it going, Donna?
Good. How are you, Dave?
I'm just fine.
Good.
Ready to roll.
Good. I'll tell you, I had somebody in a message today tell me that they thought Sunshine and Rainbows was the perfect description of me and my personality.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Of course, I thought to myself, well, you don't really know me now, do you?
If you only knew.
That's right. You should see what goes on behind podcast doors. You have no idea. My kids would tell you a different story. No. So I thought that was a nice compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't have people, messaging me saying, Dave, Mr. Steel Wool is like the perfect.
Oh, they tell me that too.
No, do they really? Well,
no, they don't.
Nobody messages me. What can I say?
No.
What can I say? Hey, I've got a surprise for you, Donna.
Hey, really?
I've got a short quiz for you.
Really?
4 questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think you can ace it. I really do.
I hope so. Now I'm on the spot.
No, see, this short story behind all this is that, for Christmas, my oldest granddaughter got me this gigantic red pen for Christmas. And she, said to me she wanted me to write her a letter every day because she's into the mail. Oh. And so I've been writing her every week, writing her something. And she's been, writing me, I think she wrote me like 2 letters. The one that came today it's a quiz. And I took it and I wanted to give it to you just to see what your answers would be.
Okay.
It's I'll send you a picture of it too because it's really, really cute.
Okay.
But you ready? Okay.
Yes.
So
okay.
Question number 1. You don't need the Rocky music for this, do you?
I hope not, do I? I think I'm okay.
No. Okay, here you go. Question number 1, Donna.
Okay.
It says, do you like apples? Checkbox, yes. Checkbox, no. Which is it, Donna?
Oh, checkbox, yes. All the way.
Okay. All right. Question number 2. Do you like bananas? Come on, yes or no?
Checkbox, yes.
Okay. All right. Question number 3. Do you like candy? Yes, no, yes, no.
Yes.
All right.
Put me down.
That was the correct answer.
Okay, good.
Last question.
All right.
I may have to explain this one to you. Do you like beanie weenies? Come on, yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
I think, is that the little mini hot dogs and the baked beans?
Yeah, in like pork and beans.
Yeah, no, I can't say that I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
She can have my portion.
Yeah, well, see, the history behind that is they serve that at her preschool for lunch every now and again. And she does not like the beanie weenies.
Oh, good. So I got it right.
Yeah, the answer is no. No,
Okay.
You do not like beanie weenies.
I got it right.
Yeah. Do not like beanie weenies.
Oh, what
Stay
a
away
sweetie.
from those beanie weenies.
I steer clear, let me tell you. If I see beanie weenies coming my way, I make a beeline for the door.
Yeah, get rid of those beanie weenies, man.
Yeah,
They're
for
no
sure.
good. They're no good for you.
Oh, that's
Right.
so cute.
So, before we get into our podcast, we got to take care of the business.
Yes.
Got the business. Hey, you people, you're listening right now, right? You're on YouTube because that's where we're on. Look down below and there's like a little red button that says subscribe. Click it.
Do it.
Subscribe to us. You're already there.
Do
right?
it. Do it.
Our YouTube channel, you can find us at bit.do/nightthoughts. Please subscribe.
Please do.
And we have emails. nightthoughtspodcast@gmail.com. We've gotten a few. I don't have to make shit up again this week, which is great.
Yes.
Our merch, tpublic.com/user/nightthoughts. Somebody bought a shirt this week.
Yay! Which one?
It wasn't a Night Thoughts shirt.
No, I think 3 of those have been sold, and I know who owns all of them.
Yeah, all 3 of them. Yeah.
2 of them are at my house.
You got it. So, why don't you fill us in on the business of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame tickets? I know that info came out.
Okay, yes. So I had joined the Rock Hall as a member, so I could kind of be in on the inside scoop. And pre-sale for members is February 6th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, online through Ticketmaster. So I actually also registered for Ticketmaster. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, Ticketmaster. You know the charges Ticketmaster puts on things? It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt.
Ridiculous.
And then general public tickets go on sale the 8th, February 8th, also at 10 o'clock a.m. So
wow.
Yeah. And my understanding is, well, in the email that I got, they just said ticket prices range from like $90 to $500. So, obviously you're looking at a low end of about $100 for a ticket.
No, man, 500.
Yeah, get me in the front row.
Or if you pay $1,000 if you could sit on the stage.
Just dangle like Kermit the Frog, your legs just dangling off the stage.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Waving at everybody. Hey.
That would be awesome.
So that's what I know about that. And you can only buy 2 is the most that a person can buy. And yeah, I will also give you a little update on press credentials.
Did you get, you got a reply?
No. No, but I just was going to inform the public, whoever's following our little saga of trying to get press credentials, that we actually applied for them. And it was actually kind of pathetic to do that because, you have to put in your number of followers and your,
How many subscribers to your YouTube channel? I'm not going to lie. I put 31 down or however many it was at the time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. I totally, wasn't going to lie because, they're going to check it. But even, so I had applied from my blog and, you have to put in your amount of traffic and stuff, which wasn't too bad. And, but it still felt pathetic. I mean, it still felt like.
Well, I did add in our application for Night Thoughts that we were the #1 longest running podcast for the Cars.
Oh, good for you.
So you know what? If they can't smell our greatness off that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, for my blog, I put on there that I was the only currently active blog dedicated to promoting the Cars.
There you go.
Because I don't even know what's on Tumblr. I don't consider Tumblr a real thing. So if there are blogs on Tumblr, they don't count.
But then again, we don't know what's going on in Turkey. There could be scores of podcasts.
That's true. That's true. I did have viewers or readers from Turkey this week again.
I'm telling you, it's crazy.
They are crazy for the Cars.
Turks love the Cars.
That needs to be a T-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. Turks love the Cars. Yeah, I think so. With a heart.
Yeah.
Turks heart
the cars.
There we go. All right, look for that one on TeePublic.
Yes.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. So by the time we do our next pod, we should know about our tickets if we've been able to buy tickets. If you're going to try, I don't know. Are you going to try to buy them?
I'm still undecided.
Okay, I knew you were going back and forth.
I'll check it out for sure.
Okay.
What we need to do, Donna? We need to get the Turks to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Attention all Turks.
Attention all Turks.
Please subscribe.
But I don't know, maybe we're stretching if we think that the Turks love YouTube. I don't know.
Well, they just love Twitter. So that's where you gotta get them on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just direct them over.
Turks.
Tell them there's Twitter bonuses if you subscribe to us on YouTube. We'll give you some Twitter love.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you, Turks.
That's right. Good night. Yeah, so I know that the press credential thing isn't a big deal, but it's out there. So I'm just letting everybody know we've taken that step. We'll see what happens. Hopefully
We're going.
they'll look at it. They'll just throw us a bone, be like, you know what, these pathetic little people. We'll just why not? Just for a lark, let's just do it.
They'll send us like a Rock Hall Induction 2018 magnet.
Aw, dang, bumper sticker. Yeah, so that's my update.
All right. So our episode 21, into the 20s now, our topic is influenced by the Cars. So this episode, we're taking a look at bands and artists who were influenced by the Cars. So people keep this in mind. We're not talking about bands that sound like the Cars per se. We're talking about bands that have either publicly, stated that they were directly influenced by the Cars, or there's aspects of their sound or lyrically or whatever that reminds us of the Cars.
Right. And it doesn't, and that doesn't mean also it's not just bands that just did covers of the Cars. That it's got to be a step beyond that where they've somehow shown their appreciation for the Cars a little bit more than just doing a cover.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you may want to, if there's any that we've left out, because we just, picked a few of our favorites, and we're going to talk about them and play a few clips, short clips, not the whole songs. And so if there's any that we've missed or any that you disagree with that we say, please look down there at the bottom. There's a place for comments on YouTube, so you can do that, or you can do it on the Night Thoughts Facebook page.
Yes. And I will say, since we mentioned about bands just doing covers, I do want to do a future episode of our favorite covers of Cars songs that people have done. I think that would be fun. And maybe we can get some listener input on that for a future episode. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. All right, so let's get started.
All right.
You want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I don't
care.
Do
you like apples?
I've already answered that question.
You would have been funny if she wrote on there, do you like apples? And I check yes. And then she would say something like, well, I got this. How do you like them apples?
Exactly. She's so cute. Okay, so I don't care. I have 5 examples. So if you want me to go first, I can go first.
Go first.
Do you have 4 or 5? 4.
4 or 5, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have about 5.
Okay, so I was very methodical in the way that I did this. There are bands that I already knew about, and I did research, and I'm old-fashioned, so I printed out quotes. So if you hear me rattling papers, that's what that is. Just different quotes. So for each band that I have a quote to support their the fact that they were influenced by the Cars, and then I have my clip.
Okay.
Yeah. So
gotcha.
Okay. So the first one I did is probably obvious to a lot of people. You've probably heard this before, but the band 38 Special. In 1981, they put out a song called "Hold On Loosely," which I love. I love 38 Special. And Jeff Parlisi has on several occasions, in fact, I have 2 separate YouTube videos of him talking about and specifically saying the Cars helped us write that song. That they were inspired by Rick's 8th note playing in Just What I Needed. And I think in one of them he talks about he was sitting around. In fact, it might be my quote. So I've got my paper. Okay. So
It sounded like a hurricane.
Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have put it right up to the mic. I think he was talking about how he was sitting around and just playing 8th notes on his guitar, and then kind of heard that song, and it really inspired him. There's several stories out there, like I said, 2 that I have on video of him talking about it. But here's an interview that he did with AmericanSongwriter.com, and he says, I think the one band that I owe the most credit to, as far as really hitting my stride as a songwriter, especially when 38 Special started becoming successful in the early 80s, was the Cars. I really owe Rick Ocasek, the Cars leader, a lot of credit as far as enlightening me into how you can create something different, very original and unique, that when you hear it on the radio for the first time, it's like, whoa, it's that band. Some people say, as soon as I hear your songs on the radio, I know that it's 38 Special because nobody else does it that way.
Yeah. And I never even really thought about 38 Special in that way before.
Yeah.
Until, I think I read that article too. But,
yeah.
You had, the clip that you have, you really listen to it, you're like, yeah,
yeah,
totally.
Yeah. So do you want me to go ahead and play that now?
Sure, why not?
All right, here we go. Hang on, people. I tell you, it takes all my willpower to not sing along with that. I love that song so much. And when I was creating my clip, every time I, retested it because I did the fade out and everything, then I just totally sang it. And I was like, please do not embarrass yourself, Donna, by accidentally just singing to that while it's doing its thing. And so, I love that song.
Yeah, it's also weird just to listen to clips.
Yeah.
Because, you want to hear the whole song.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it makes it tough. But yeah, so that 38 Special. And of course, the other one that's similar to that is Caught Up in You, is really similar. But they've given a lot of love to the Cars in there. They seem to have no hesitation of just saying the Cars. We were really influenced by them. So that's pretty great.
Yeah, and in that same kind of way, my first band that I think of with that is Collective Soul.
Yes.
And I don't think Collective Soul is, I don't know how widely known they are. I picked up on them after their first album came out, but they are another one of my favorite bands. And by the way, this is how I distinguish between having like a favorite band, like I have with the Cars, and just a favorite band.
Okay.
Collective Soul is a favorite band, but I can tell you the name of like two guys in the band, not the whole band. And they've had changes, that have come through the band in the later years, and I couldn't tell you who they are.
Yeah.
Who left and who,
Do you own their whole catalog?
Yes.
Okay, so that's good indicator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every one of these that I bring up, I own their whole catalog, but I could not tell you the names of every band member in them. It's really weird. So, and Collective Soul is also a weird one for me too, because probably a majority of the listening I've listened to them is just listening to them on my iPod as an artist.
Okay.
So a lot of songs, I don't know what album they go on.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I can pick out songs like off their first album, because that's a different kind of album. But anything past that, it's like, I don't know what album this is on, but I like this song.
Yeah.
So, but the Collective Soul is one that they've publicly said that the Cars influenced them. And, I've seen it in print, and I've heard stories from other musicians who've played with them, talking, how they talked about the Cars. And I can't remember if it's on a concert video or if I actually heard them say this when I saw them in concert, because I've seen them twice, about talking about the great bands that they followed and blah, 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 and the Cars being in that list
Nice.
of bands. But to me, the main influence I think on them is probably Rick's lyrics,
Okay.
because all of the songs with Collective Soul are really, intricate lyrics. It's not like you can, I mean, you have to look at the lyric sheet to pick it up, all that's being, sung in the songs. But there's Ed Roland, one of the guys I know, the frontman. He's a lyricist that just uses real deep, thoughtful phrases in his songs. And, the beyond that, as far as the sound goes, they use a lot of the little buzzes and noises and things that are kind of reminiscent of Heartbeat City. Little electronic noises here and there, songs that overlap into each other.
Nice.
Is always been a biggie. And I could play probably a half dozen songs that really I can feel that Cars influence in, but probably the big one that got Collective Soul a little bit of negative coverage from the Fanorama was a song called Hollywood. Have you ever heard it?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, people, I mean, it has that, like, that riff from the song Magic. And then to top it off, the first line of the song is Summer.
Right.
So people are like, what a rip-off, and blah, blah, blah. They're ripping the Cars off and so forth and so on. But, I never took it that way. I took it as, we're paying tribute to the Cars in this. So
and didn't they? Because I thought I had read that before too, that they were influenced by the Cars. Didn't they specifically name that song? Didn't they say that they were influenced by the song Magic when they wrote that?
That I can't recall.
Yeah, it seems like that. I can't remember if someone else said it in response, or for some reason I was thinking that they actually said that. But I have to look that up.
But for people who aren't familiar with the song, let me play a little bit of this. Now, a little disclaimer, because we're big on our disclaimers here on Night Thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm playing my songs off my phone, so if it sounds like it's in a tin can or whatever, that's the reason why. But here's Hollywood.
Okay.
What a blatant ripoff. He said summer. Summer, summer, summer. I bet it turned you upside down.
They should sue them.
They should. They should sue them.
Yeah. I love that song.
Like I said, they have a lot of songs that just have a lot of those kinds of sounds and keyboard parts and so forth that just remind me of the Cars. I'll just play just a little bit just to give you an example of that.
Okay.
This is a song called This.
Okay.
Anyway, just that part. But
I like that.
They use hand claps a lot in the songs, and that's a Cars thing to me. I don't know if it was originated with the Cars, but the whole hand clapping thing.
Yeah.
You get that going. So.
Yeah. Yeah. That I just wrote down that other song. This I haven't heard that before, but I like that. That totally sounded like Greg at the beginning with the little laser beam.
Yeah.
I could see him doing it.
Yeah. That's off their album. See What You Started by Continuing is the name of that album, and it came out in 2015.
That's a long album title.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get that on a shirt.
At some point in time, Collective Soul started I think one album they let the fans name it, and so they ended up naming it Blender.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, and then they had the album, I think, before this one, it had just a picture of a rabbit on it.
Huh.
And so people were calling it self-titled, but then they started calling it Collective Soul Rabbit.
Oh,
So that's that one.
interesting. Well, good. That was a good clip. I like that. My next one is a name that probably everybody knows. It's Slash, our good friend Slash from Guns N' Roses. He's another one who.
Have you ever seen the video of Slash playing on stage with Michael Jackson?
Yes.
And he's doing this solo, and Michael's Slash, Slash, stop, Slash, stop.
I can't handle it. Stop. That's his. It's so absurd.
It's like as if to say, "Fuck you, Michael Jackson."
To me, that's in the same category of like bizarro world things that happen as like Celine Dion doing "Shook Me All Night Long" AC/DC. It's just those things just shouldn't go together. Just stop.
I know. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were talking about okay. Slash.
Yes, the Slash from Guns N' Roses. If anybody has been under a rock the last 20 years and doesn't know who I'm talking about, he is the lead guitar player for was the lead guitar player for Guns N' Roses. And he is another one who has said in many interviews and things that he was influenced by the Cars. And I did actually read one of his memoirs. And so I have a quote from that. His particular influence, of course, was Elliot as the lead guitar player. And Slash says in his book, which is called Slash, written by Slash, for Slash, and said by Slash, he says, "I didn't expect to like the cool new band Kevin was going to play for me while we smoked a joint in his room at his party that night. I changed my mind midway through the first song, and by the time the second song was over, I was a lifelong fan of Elliot Easton. Elliot was the soul of the Cars, and that first record of theirs won me over. In my opinion, the Cars were one of the few impactful groups that came along when New Wave took over the airwaves." So that's pretty nice.
Wow.
He also tells a story in the same book where he got a job at, I think, like a record store across from Cherokee Studios. And so then he would just like spy out the window on all the famous people going in and out of Cherokee. And he saw Rick Ocasek. One of the stories he tells is seeing Rick Ocasek going in and out. I remember he said there's somebody else that went in and out that didn't impress him too much, but then he saw Rick Ocasek and he was like, then he was dropping F-bombs everywhere because he was so excited to see her. He was totally starstruck, he said.
Wow.
When he saw Rick. And so that was kind of cool. But so I do have a clip just of his guitar playing. And, I used to listen to Guns N' Roses a lot more in college. I haven't listened to a lot of it lately. Seeing Axl Rose on stage with gout and all sorts of other he's not aging well. And it sort of, turns me off a little bit. But if I close my eyes, I can go back and listen to Guns N' Roses and, all those happy days from college. But when you do listen to Slash's guitar solos, aside from all of the, on and on and on that all live guitarists seem to like to do, his solos in a lot of the songs are very concise. And there are several of them that I thought, I could see Elliot playing that. I could see Elliot being the one who had written that. You know what I mean? Like, I can hear Elliot in Slash's guitar writing. So the clip I chose is the beginning of Sweet Child of Mine from their album Appetite for Destruction from 1987. So here we go. Oh, I forgot that I changed that to, I originally was going to go with the beginning of the song, but I forgot I changed it to hit that solo in the middle. But it's a great solo, and it's definitely one where I feel like I can hear Elliot's influence on him in that.
I can't hear that song without thinking about the movie The Wrestler.
Didn't see it.
You haven't seen The Wrestler?
I don't think so.
Donna, you need to get on it and see The Wrestler. Mickey Rourke. Who plays a wrestler?
No.
An aging wrestler.
That's
But anyway,
confusing.
that's his theme song when he comes out. Randy the Ram.
Really? Isn't Mickey Rourke that weird dude that was in like 9.5 Weeks or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really, really good flick though.
Well,
Really
I'll be honest and say I'm not writing that on my list of things to follow up, but I appreciate the suggestion. Did you ever watch The Kingsman?
Yes.
Did you? Did you like it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you watched the second one, you must like the first one.
Yep.
Okay, good. You're good.
Yep.
Okay, your turn. You're up.
All right. Mine is another one that people have claimed were ripping off the Cars.
Ooh, you got all the controversial ones.
I know, I've got all controversial ones. And this was actually a band that back in the Frozen Fire days, people suggested. That's how I caught on to them.
Okay.
Fountains of Wayne.
Okay.
And I'll play the song that people said reminded, no, maybe I don't have that one. Maybe I don't have that one. Oh yeah, I do. The song that people said, oh yeah, it sounds a lot like them. And it's called Denise.
Okay.
It's off their second album, which came out in 1999. But I'll just play a little clip of that.
Okay.
All right. So
wow,
that was a song that people, hey, you got to listen to this band. They sound a lot like Cars and whatever. And I agreed. And so I got into Fountains of Wayne. They're a band that Elliot Easton has given them props publicly.
Nice.
Saying that he really likes their lyrics. And of course, this is a band that I don't know the band members' names. Chris Collinwood is one, but I don't know if he's the lead guy or not. But anyway, whoever writes the lyrics, their lyrics are so cool in that they are kind of strange, like that, or he'll find a way to rhyme words by breaking up sentences, if that makes sense. He'll like say half a phrase so that it'll rhyme with down the next and it's really cool. But the big comparison I make with them is that they use a lot of heavy synthesizer sounds in some of their songs.
Nice.
And they've got a real using a Rick word, eclectic mix of genres that they put on their albums. I mean, they've got stuff that sounds like Denise, that like I just played.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have stuff that sounds country-ish, a lot of ballads. They'll use horn sections in some of their songs, and it's really cool. So they have a lot of their early stuff. There's a song called Maureen that is very Cars-like, and off this same album that came out in '99, they got Red Dragon Tattoo.
Okay.
But the big one that got people going saying it's a big rip-off and ripped them off or whatever is Stacy's Mom, which I'm sure you've heard.
Yes.
And that one, which is another one, is like, man, they're not ripping anybody off. It's a tribute. And I don't know if you've heard this before or not, but the video for Stacy's Mom, they wanted Rick to appear in that video, but he
really? Oh.
Which is how we got the little one of my other favorite video characters beside Rick Fly is the little Rick Ocasek looking kid.
Oh, okay.
I love that kid. Little Rick Ocasek looking kid. So and if you watch the video, it even goes so far as to parody the Fast Times at Ridgemont High pool scene
Nice.
which the Cars are known for.
Right.
So, I like Stacy's mom. I used to give my daughter crap listening to that song because I'd sing it. Hannah's mom has got it. Stop it, Dave.
Get out of here.
Yeah, stop saying that. Man, it's gonna play a little clip of Stacy's mom.
Okay.
Even though everybody's ever heard it before, but.
Stacy's mom has got it going on. 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 Stacy, can I come?
So that they get to the lead solo part where everything just kind of just goes wild towards the end of this song. That really reminds me a lot of the Cars.
Well, that beginning, the whole eighth note beginning thing again, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to play the end? You going to play the
No.
solo part? Okay.
No, I'd have to scroll with my finger and I'd mess it up.
All right. I mean, we have audio problems, but we don't want to have those kind of audio problems.
Yeah.
We have standards, people.
My big fat finger screwing things up.
Well, yeah, that's a good one. Seems like there's another one that's similar to that it's like a 80s mom kind of one, but I can't remember what it is.
Oh, 1985.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of moms. Matter of fact, I have a friend who loved that song because it fit her.
Yes.
Even down to the two kids in high school thinking that she wasn't cool.
Yeah, that's classic. I'm sure that many of us moms relate to that song. It's our anthem whenever crank that baby up when the kids leave the house.
Yeah. The funny thing about 1985 is I got a friend named Brian, and when 1985 came, I don't even know how we got it started, but we kept saying 1985 is the year of Brian and Dave. This is our year. 1985.
What?
The year of Brian and Dave. Yeah. I don't know why.
What were you expecting to happen?
I don't know. We just thought it was going to be our year.
Okay. You're going to finally hit puberty?
Hit puberty, yeah. I hit puberty.
This is the year. I'm in college now. It's got to happen.
Yeah. I hope it happens.
I know. Define late bloomer for me again. Okay, well, my next one, I'm going to actually, I don't remember if I gave you an order of my clips, but I'm going to go right to Dante Tomaselli.
Dante!
Our good friend Dante Tomaselli. And I got to tell you, I did invite Dante to call in because I thought it would be so great for him to just give us a little, blip about his influence and things like that. Unfortunately, he was not able to do that.
Oh, did you offer him swag?
No, I didn't.
Donna, what did you do is offer the guy swag. He'll do anything for swag.
He does like his swag. I did do my best. I got the butter out and I told him how great he is. And I just, what a treat it would be for him to be on the show. And he just
likes the swag.
Nah,
Case in point.
Yeah, sometimes Sunshine and Rainbows just doesn't buy it.
No, a couple weeks back, I was sick. All right, stuffy nose, aches, fever, the whole thing. I called up Dante. I said, Dante, it's Dave. I really could use some chicken soup and some magazines. Yeah, Dave, I'm a little busy, Dante says. And I said, I'll give you some swag. Boom.
You heard the screeching tires
Within the hour. Dante was here. And what? We live like thousands of miles away, so,
You have that special connection with him then, swag connection.
We do, yeah.
He is actually very busy, and for those of you who don't know our good friend Dante, who we talk about all the time, so you should know who he is. Dante is a horror film producer, writer.
What was that?
Horror, HORROR.
Okay, just making sure.
Dave. Well, I don't know what movie he sent you, but he is a horror movie.
I don't know why you're talking like that about Dante.
Hey, Dante is a horror film producer and writer. He also creates soundscapes and soundtracks for his horror films, and he is amazing. Last year, I had the privilege of getting to interview Dante and chat with him on the phone a little bit, and I wrote an article about him on my blog, which is www.sweetpurpleJune.wordpress.com. So if you go there, really, that's not a shameless plug. That's me saying, if you please go and read more about Dante. If you go to my blog and type in the word Dante in the search bar, Dante, it's a great interview with him. He's an amazing guy, and his love of the Cars goes back to when he was a child. So I had invited him to be on the show. He was very apologetic and wishes so much that he could have called in tonight. Still on the radar to get him on the show at some point. We've got to have Dante on here with us. But instead, he sent me an email with his thoughts and just his own quotes about his influence. So I'm going to go ahead and read that, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so Dante says, I tend to mostly like music that heavily incorporates synthesizers. As you know, when I was 8 years old in 1978, I purchased the Cars debut and was instantly addicted. I marveled at this unique concoction, a marriage of surreal lyrics, guitars, and synthesizers. I remember I would sit in my room and listen and isolate Greg's parts because they would jump out and glow for me. Around this time, I remember having access to Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange, a powerful soundtrack album composed by synth pioneer Wendy Carlos, and it felt Greg Hawkes, an electro sorcerer, was right up there in that iconic league. As each Cars album progressed, his contribution grew more and more pronounced, which made me very happy. Among many other things, I always thought Greg mastered the art of the clapping sound with his endless variations of white noise. Think of how many times you hear it, yet it always sounds fresh. His imaginative, colorful synth flourishes and pulsating keyboard melodies really popped and elevated every song. By the time his solo album was released in 1983, I was 13 and an all-out Cars fanatic. I couldn't wait to experience Niagara Falls. Needless to say, I bought the LP the day it was released, and it did not disappoint. The fact that Greg arranged everything himself and managed to conjure this futuristic netherworld, a floating electronic universe so rich in mood and atmosphere, really inspired me. As I had hoped, the whole album felt like a journey, very cinematic. I enjoy instrumentals, soundtrack albums, so Niagara Falls was just what the doctor ordered, a gift from the universe. Now as an adult and electronic music composer, I create soundscapes that don't necessarily ever resemble Greg Hawkes' compositions, but his influence is always there, always. Some examples of tracks that are more overtly inspired by Greg Hawkes are Kundalini Serpent, Lucid Dreaming, and The Moon. And I think The Moon is Kundalini Serpent and Lucid Dreaming and The Moon are all from his soundscape that he released at the beginning of, or spring of 2017. The album is called Witches, and those three songs all appear on that. So he's a great writer too. I just love all of that he just wrote, and I need to use that in an article somewhere.
And I have to add that Dante's CD of Halloween sounds scared the hell out of me.
Did you listen to it?
Oh yeah, I said it before in the podcast. It's like, okay, I'm getting wigged out.
Wigged out. Did we talk about that before? I couldn't remember because yes. Did I tell you that the first time I listened to it, I was out for a run like at dusk? And of course I live out in. Did I tell you the story?
Stay off the moors. Stay off the moors.
I live in small town, very wooded area, and so a lot of my routes are in the woods, at least at some point. And so I had just gotten Dante's. I had bought it on MP3 and just downloaded it, and so I was like, oh, I'm going to listen to this while I go for a run. Well, yeah, it's 5 o'clock at night, sun's going down, I'm running through the woods. I mean, I'm on a paved road, but it's all wooded around me, and all these sounds are just pulsating in my ears. I'm just like, yeah. I was freaking myself out. My back was getting all hunched up. I was just like, I gotta get out of here. It's creepy, but to me, it's very, very cool. I really dig it. So I do have a couple clips. I do have. Can I play both of them? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Ahead. My favorite is Kundalini Serpent, and so I'm gonna go ahead and play that one first. And like he said, it won't necessarily sound like the Cars, but you'll be able to hear Greg's influence for sure. Okay, so here we go. Um, and the thing about that song, I do remember Dante saying that he doesn't usually write melodic music. I mean, it's not your traditional music. Um, he he writes soundscapes, and this clip from Lucid Dreaming, you'll see that more where it's not a melodic kind of music. So that he felt that he had really kind of stretched himself with Kundalini Serpent, which I just love. Um, but so I'm going to go ahead and do this Lucid Dreaming one next, okay? You ready?
I'm ready to lucid dream.
Okay, close your eyes. Here we go. Creepy. Creepy.
I should point out that the Halloween music CD that I was talking about is actually called "Scream in the Dark."
Oh, he sent you that one? Okay.
Is the official title of it? Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, it's especially if if Halloween is your holiday, there's a lot of people who are really into that, and haunted house stuff, and it's obviously that's the genre that he's in, and that's what he's going for. And I'm really not into that stuff very much, but I do like his album a lot. He's really good. So our good friend Dante.
I need to pony up one of these days and get enough nerve to watch Torture Chamber.
Oh, I don't know.
But I just don't do the demonic stuff. But I do. I need to.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
of course, if Dante would bring me like some chips and dip, maybe some popcorn, bring it on over, Dante. Wouldn't that be awesome to sit and watch Torture Chamber with Dante?
Yes.
It'd be pretty cool.
It would be
Dante,
really cool.
Bring it on over, man. I'll do it.
I have to tell you, I adore Dante. I mean, I don't have chats with him so much, but like we'll just message each other back and forth and just send a little, here's an update of what's going on here, here's an update of what's going on there. And he's just the nicest guy. And like I said, he's really busy he's got his new project is called The Doll, and he's in the throes of that, but he's just the nicest guy. He's a faithful listener of the podcast, and great Cars fan. He loves the cars. I think in my article it says this too. He on every album that he puts out, he thanks the Cars in his liner notes.
Wow.
They really had an impact on him from his childhood, so I just think that's great.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Who's up next?
For me?
Yo.
Well, mine is yet another band that was brought up through the Frozen Fire email list.
Okay.
A band by the name of Death Ray. And
Okay.
this was a band that was brought up as sounding like the Cars, or, if you like the Cars, you'll like Death Ray. But this is also another one that that talked about the Cars' influence, but I got it straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. God, I can't remember how his last name's pronounced. I don't know if it's Gumbler or Anyway, Dana Gumbler.
Okay.
I think it's his name. He was the keyboardist for Death Ray.
Oh, okay.
And at the time, I mean, and he also had another offshoot band that he went into called the High Speed Scene. And both Death Ray and the High Speed Scene were the type of indie bands that kind of did their own CD sales.
Okay.
And, if you wanted their CD, you'd, write to them with a check for $10 or whatever it was. And, this is like turn of the century. And we can say that now.
I know, it's so weird.
Yeah. And so when I sent my money, I said that, hey, you guys, sound a little bit like the Cars, you know, the Influencer or whatever. And when he sent the CD, he sent a little note tucked in there and saying, "Yeah, man, the Cars rock." Or I wish I would have kept a note.
Yeah.
It's something to that effect. But and he also put in like some extra swag in there, some stickers and
Nice.
and like a CD single and things like that.
Nice.
But yeah, so this was a band that definitely was. So the song that I want to play is one called "Check It Over."
Okay.
And it's just, I don't know, it's a fun song.
Okay.
Fun song. Let me just play that here.
The ship is sinking, but it's alright. Check it over, check it over, check it over. Been a long night, and now it's over. Or is it over? Check it over. Back in the cheap seats, you feel a sharp wave, spilling your cheap drinks on your knees, and up in first class, through all the white teeth, a gentle whisper, then a scream. The ship is sinking, but it's alright. Check it over, check it over, check it over. Been a long night, and now it's over. Or is it over? Check it over. It's just a test tone, and all the best tones.
Okay, now I'm going to try to scroll with my finger.
Okay.
There's a part towards the end of this. I'm trying it. It really has a car sound to it. Let me see if I got it.
Okay.
Nailed it. There we go. Nailed that sucker.
So Greg. That's so
Yeah.
Greg.
So Greg. And they put out, see, and it's sad because it's, you know, they're one of my favorite bands. They only put out 2 albums. They put one album out after this one. This one came out in 2000. And they put out one more album. And then they disbanded.
Oh.
And, the Dana guy, he went to the high speed scene and they put out one album and then they disbanded. So I don't know what they're doing, but I think you can find the video for Check It Over on YouTube.
Okay.
Just type in Death Ray Check It Over and it's on there. And they're kind of interesting looking too.
You know, I had never heard of them before, and when I saw that on the outline, I mean, the name Death Ray, I was thinking it was going to be more, you know, Metallica, hard
Yeah.
rock, like, you know, kind of stuff. It was quite poppy. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't have been surprised if they were influenced by the Cars.
Yeah.
They would have a pop sound to them. But yeah, it was different than what I was thinking, that's for sure.
And they're then another song on here, Now That I'm Blind, got radio airplay in my neck of the woods, so which is unheard of.
Yeah.
I don't know, and that was like not the top 40 station, but like the, you know, basic pop station around here.
Yeah, yeah.
Played it, and I was really shocked.
Yeah, that's good. That's nice.
Yep.
Okay, well, my next one is another one that probably everybody is aware of already, and I did actually use them as a little piece in this article that I just published this week, about a song that they did a cover of. This is the Smashing Pumpkins, led by Billy Corgan, and I'm not a huge fan of the Smashing Pumpkins, but something about this guy's voice, it's so different, it's just very kind of addictive to me. But there's a lot of things I read online that said that Billy Corgan was influenced by the Cars. I could not necessarily find a direct quote from him, other than he's mentioned the Cars and things. It's hard to describe. I couldn't find a quote like what I wanted, but not only is he the lead singer and songwriter for the Smashing Pumpkins, but he's worked with Rick Ocasek. He was a co-producer for half the songs, and he played guitar on the album Troublizing.
Yeah, and he does backing vocals.
Well, there you have it. And so I do have a quote from Rick, actually, about Billy Corgan. So you ready for that?
Yep.
Okay, it says, so this is an article that I found online, and it says from the sound, they're kind of talking about how the Troublizing album sounds like the Cars. And Rick's kind of like, well, guess what? I was a songwriter for the Cars, so it's going to sound like that a little bit. Yeah, I'm okay with that. That's kind of the tone of the article. But he says, the article says, from the sound of Troublizing, it seems as if avowed Cars fan Corgan sees the opportunity to get Ocasek back into making the kind of icy new wave rock he specialized in before the demise of the Boston-based Cars. For the record, Ocasek states categorically that he will never participate in a Cars reunion. We'll just leave that there. I met Billy about 8 months before we started working on the album, Ocasek says. I went to see him play, and afterward we traded phone numbers. After that, when he came to New York, he'd come over to my place. We'd do things like listen to music, play video games, talk about literature, order in from the menu book, and eat meatloaf. We'd do just about anything normal people would do, or something abnormal people would do. When it came to making the album, I didn't want any producer at first. I wanted to use artists who didn't know how to produce. They'd take things further away than a regular producer just because they didn't know anything. But I ended up doing half myself and the other half with Billy. I knew he'd done a cover of the Cars' You're All I've Got Tonight on one of his records. He's a songwriter, guitar player, and leader who takes a lot of control. I thought he'd do it passionately because he gets real involved and compulsive about things. I like that. We had a great time. So, those are Rick's words about Billy Corgan. And I have a clip of their version of You're All I've Got Tonight. Are we ready?
Go for it.
All right, here it comes, people. Hang on, if you've not heard this guy's voice before. Oh, in fact, let me tell you, what did my daughter say? My one daughter is an excellent writer, and so I was asking her, what words would you use to describe this guy's voice? Because I just can't quite put my finger on it. And so we were kind of tossing back and forth adjectives, and then she had this line. I wrote it down just there. She said, Billy Corgan has that distinctive metallic saw blade voice that'll set your teeth on edge and your children a-crying, is what she said. So with that in mind, folks, let's listen to a smidgy of Smashing Pumpkins' You're All I've Got Tonight, which they put out on their 1996 album, Aeroplane Flies High. All right, and then it goes on from there. But when I first heard it, I was like, and then, I don't know, it was just one of those, I listened to it more and I really liked it. I dug it.
I think that the song on Troublizing that Billy does the most backing vocal on is called Asia Minor.
Okay.
And I know you're trying to listen to Rick's stuff in order.
Yeah.
But let me play a little bit of this for you.
Okay.
That was Billy.
Ah, yes, I recognize that.
There you go.
Very
I didn't
nice.
run it for you.
No, that was good.
Billy.
Well, I have to confess, Dave, I did start to listen to Beatitude a little bit. I just don't get very much time alone to be able to, put on music and focus and listen to it. I haven't been running very much. And so, because then that's usually my time to just immerse myself in music is out on the road, but I've been having back issues and different things. So I have not been running very much as of late. So I have not gotten very far. And Harold, if you're listening, I apologize because you've so faithfully and sweetly sent me that Beatitude CD, and I just have not been able to really sit down and focus on it. But I will. It's still on my list of things to do. So, yeah. And some people have. Oh, where was it? somebody was speculating about Billy Corgan being the one to induct the Cars into the Hall of Fame.
Oh.
That came up as an idea, but then there was some discussion like, well, you know, I can't remember that he wasn't, I don't remember that he wasn't really about all the Cars. He was a Rick Ocasek thing, but you know, whoever inducts him should be for the whole band, or you know, some kind of flavor like that. I don't really remember exactly what it was, but yeah. So we'll see if that that would be interesting. He seems like an interesting fellow, to say the least. From what I read, I just did some cursory research on him, but yeah. You're up next.
Hey, my next band, I got wind of them, I think, with reading an article somehow, and they were comparing them to the Cars.
Okay.
And the name of the band is Sunset Valley. I'd never heard of them before.
Okay.
They're big up in your neck of the woods.
Really?
Portland, Oregon.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Up in that is where they're from. Big following up there. And so
I wonder if our Twitter friend Carly knows who they are.
I bet she does.
She's from Oregon.
But they put out in 2014, they put out an album that had just like basically all their albums.
Okay.
Just reissue. I mean, every single album.
Box set or something.
And yeah. And, you know, they're just a quirky band. Just, you know, that's the only way I can describe them.
Okay.
But there's a song that I've discovered in this that I think I think I posted it on Twitter once too, saying, hey, if you like the Cars, you'll love these guys. This song is called City of Bees. Whatever that means. I can't figure this song out, which is, you know, kind of what attracts me to them. But let me play a clip of that.
Do you think I have a chance? Beautiful you with the dance. On the combs where the honey is kept. I could do a thing I call the 6-step. There is a fuss about you. And I got problems about you. I can keep my arm around you. But I can be without you. Take me to the bright, bright city of bees. Fly the bright, bright, bright into the trees. Fly me on your back, I know the way. Let me be a bee, I'll know your way.
Yeah, I'll stop it there. I wanted to hear that so part. But I mean, that's just, you know, how a lot of their songs are, just, you know, kind of that, just, and they really, you know, get you going.
Yeah, they're perky.
They're perky. It's a perky band.
Yeah.
Perky
That's
band.
interesting. Their little, I couldn't help but giggle with their little City of Bees.
Yeah.
It was cute. It was almost like almost like a children's song, but
Yeah.
not quite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. With this, my last band, if you're ready for me to do my next one,
Go for it.
is actually a very current band. I mean, and I chose this one. I added this on. It wasn't one of my original in my original plan, but because they're so current, they're so right now. This is a band that put out their debut album in September of 2017, so just a few months ago. They're called the Mylars. And they released their first single, and it seemed to do really well. They actually opened up a show for Rick Springfield at one point, and their first single is a song called Forever Done. And then the second single that they released was a cover of Let's Go by the Cars. And in this article I read about them, and the video for their version of Let's Go is really quite cool. It's sort of a spin on the Wizard of Oz movie, and I really like the video a lot. It's really cool. But I did, in this interview, here's my paper again. They were asked about the Cars, and so my quote from them says, "It's important to note that we have always been big fans of the Cars and love everything about them. The giant hooks, the harmonies, the dual lead vocalists, everything. So we also wanted to do something really fun with this video as a way of paying homage to our heroes." So I thought that was really nice. Yeah, and so like I said, these guys are just breaking into the music scene. And I did make a sample of both of them, but I think I want to play the Let's Go one, if that's okay.
Oh, I was gonna suggest to play the other one.
Oh, then I'll play the other one instead.
Yeah,
it's fine with me.
Because you can just, man, you listen to that and it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the Mylars. This song is called "Forever Done," and it is off their debut album called Melody Records from September 2017. Here we go. So there's that. I like their sound. I like them a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
It's like I'm gonna look into them.
Yeah, it's interesting because that song. So when I pull my audio file into, I have this software. It's just a free software. It's called Audacity. I pull my audio into there, and it gives me this sort of equalizer, graphic-looking thing with all these up and down lines where all the sound is. I know I'm so technically proficient. I'm sure you all understood exactly what I'm saying. But the thing that was interesting was, as I was pulling up clips from different things, and as I've done things with the Cars, their visual is where you'll have lines of where the sound is, but it's almost like a comb, where there's like space in between each piece and each tine, and so it looks like you could see through it. But when I pulled up this one and some of the other ones, but the Mylars, it's just a wall of blue. But the sound, when you listen to like that, the sound is constant. There's no break between instruments. There's no differentiating each player's role. To me, it sounds like, you know what I mean? When you listen to that, there's just noise all the time with no.
Yeah, there's something always going on.
Yeah, and it all kind of meshes together. And that's a style. I get that. That's a thing. It just really stood out to me, and that's not my favorite. I think that's one of the things I love about classic rock so much, is because everything was so distinct. Every instrument was so distinct, where I feel like a lot of today's music, particularly that style, like the Mylars, and even a little bit of Collective Soul, some of these other ones that you've played, they're similar to that, where it's just everything is just meshed together in this big sound thing, and it's just interesting. Just a different styles. So.
And so we're at the part now where we just have notables that we're putting in.
Yes.
This one's kind of a special one to me, and I know you're aware. One of our podcast super fans is Brett.
Yes.
Brett is a musician, and Brett, I apologize. It's never come up how your last name is pronounced. It's spelled Basil, so I don't know if it's Basil
or Basil.
Basil, or it could be like Dante, Basile.
Basile. Brett
Brett
Basile.
Basile. So
we'll just call him BB.
BB. Oh,
BB.
BB.
Hey, BB.
And first off, I know Brett's been having a rough go at things lately. So all you people out there, let's send some good vibes to Brett. Because
Yeah.
I know he's probably going to be listening. So we're hope things are looking up for you, buddy.
Yeah.
But he contacted me, I believe, originally on Twitter and said, hey, you know, check out my my debut album, which is titled Debut. And I got it and listened to it. And tell you what, there's the song I'm going to play on here is called Naked, which, by the way, Brett, I'll tell you a funny story. Is I had your CD in just the other day and got out of the car, and my wife was left in the car. She wanted to go in. I came back out in the car, and she goes, I just heard an interesting song about being naked. I was like, yeah. But this song kicks ass.
Ooh,
Kicks
okay.
ass. So let me play that for you.
Okay.
And I hope Brett's not going to sue us now for playing his music.
Ooh. So are you playing the whole thing? Is that what you said to me?
I'll play a snippet of it.
Okay, I'm excited.
We'll see.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there because I think that is just probably 20 seconds longer than the preview you would get on CD Baby, which is where you can get this album. You can get it on Apple Music. I think he's on Google. I think he's on Spotify. As a matter of fact, I did this for you, Brett. If you go to bit.do/Brett, B-R-E-T-T, and I'm just going to spell the last name, Brett. I don't want to tear it up. B-A-S-I-L. So it'd be bit.do/BRETT-BASIL. It'll take you right to his CD Baby page where you could buy this album on CD or digitally.
That was rockin'.
That song kicks fucking ass.
Okay, so I have to apologize. Brett also sent me this CD kind of a while ago. I mean, I was just saying how I haven't had a chance to listen to Rick, but it's especially bad because I've gotten this CD from him a while ago, and it's sitting here. I've got it right in my hand now because it's been sitting in my pile of things to do. And Brett, I am so sorry that I have not taken the time to listen to this, mostly because that's not kind to you. But now also having heard a snippet of it, I have been missing out. That was great.
My other favorite song on this CD is called Room for Me.
Okay. I see that on it.
Make sure and check that song out too.
Yeah, that's great. I'm so glad you did that. Brett, I apologize. I'm looking forward to listening to this right away. That was awesome. I have some other, did you have other notables you were going to mention, or I've got some stuff to add to that?
Yeah, I've got a couple more notables.
Okay. Do you want me to go, or do you want to go?
Oh, no, go ahead. Mention one of your notables.
Well, mine's, didn't really have it in the sense of one notable. But so I messaged my friend Michelle Berg today, and she gave me permission to use her name and this information I'm about to
You already used it like 2 episodes ago.
Michelle Berg? Oh, well, this time I have permission. Well, and because
that was Michelle Borgay.
Michelle Borgay.
Yeah.
Like
Brett Basile.
Brett Basile and Michelle Borgay and Dante Mazzelle. Dave Curry. All right. The one that I mentioned before with Michelle was because what she had done was what she posted was public. But this was something she had sent me privately, and so I asked her, "Is it okay if I use this?" And and she was like, "Absolutely." Back in 2014, she had written a letter to the Rock Hall. This was before the Cars were nominated. She had written a letter to the Rock Hall, and she had done extensive research on the reach of the Cars' influence and success. It's a great little document that she came up with here. And she had sent me a copy of it in a discussion we were having a while ago. Well, one of the sections of that is musical influence. And so she had listed some different bands that had cited the Cars as their influence. So I just was wanting to read some of that, if that was okay. Okay. So, of course, she mentions Fountains of Wayne, Stacy's mom, which we already did. They were cited as an influence by The Killers. Brandon Flowers said, "If you want to hear where the Killers got their ideas, listen to the Cars." And he calls Just What I Needed the song that changed my life. The band The Pixies. Pixies member Joey Santiago acknowledges that the Pixies' trademark muted verse/accentuated chorus technique came from the Cars. They were cited as an influence on the Strokes.
Yes.
Was that one of yours?
I've heard them, yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not one of my notables, but yeah.
Okay.
I've heard that before.
And then one of the other ones, there's 2 more that she listed I wanted to read. One says, Kurt Cobain learned to play guitar partly from listening to My Best Friend's Girl and Moving in Stereo, both songs played by Nirvana at their final concert in 1994. And then her other one I wanted to read is Paul McCartney enlisted Greg Hawkes to play on Motor of Love from Flowers in the Dirt. He wanted the track to sound like Drive and kept a copy of the Cars' greatest hits in the control room.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that interesting? So thank you, Michelle, very much for giving me permission to do this and for doing that research and sharing it with me. I love stuff like that, as you know. So props to her. Big shout out.
There's I don't know the guy's name, but Rick has produced I think multiple albums for Weezer.
Yes.
And the bass player, I believe, had a little offshoot, band called The Rentals.
Okay.
And this album, it came out in '95, and this album is known for having the only song ever written about Paulina Porskova.
Oh, really?
And which Paulina herself did say, yeah, it's about me, and she thought it was weird.
Oh.
Whatever. Let me play a little clip of that.
Okay, good.
So won't you tell me your future? I'm gonna break down a 50.
So if you're friends with P, you're friends with me.
I've heard that before. I didn't recognize
Yeah.
you even until that little chorus. I've heard that before. Ah, that's funny.
But there's a song on here called "Waiting"
Okay.
that I think really kicks butt. But that you can really feel that influence. I don't think they've, if Weezer or any member of the band, including this guy, has ever, come out and said that the Cars were an influence. But to me, it feels like there is.
Nice.
Well, I mean, hell, if you're gonna write a song about Rick Ocasek's life, there's gotta be something besides being a producer.
Yeah, there's got to be some connection there. Didn't they also do the covers of, well, at least they did the cover of "You Might Think" for Cars 2, the
Yes.
Pixar movie Cars 2. Did they also do, no, did they all, what was this? There was a Cars song in the first one too.
I don't recall. They have
Mike.
the only song that I really know by them is Buddy Holly.
I don't know.
But this song's called "Waiting." But just listen to the beginning of this.
Okay.
I'm waiting for something to come through. I'm hoping I can write a real sweet tune. No passion, no warmth in these words.
Okay, so did you catch that? That goes
Yeah.
on in there? I think that's a person's voice.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
It sounds like somebody's just going. It cracks me up. This whole album cracks me up.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, they're an interesting sound. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's good stuff.
But it's the name of the band's The Rentals, and the album's name is Return of the Rentals.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think it was their only album. I don't know.
Well, and they're back again with their
Yep.
one album. Of course, you talk about Rick producing Weezer. Obviously, he produced Suicide and Romeo
And the
Void,
Suicide
right?
Car Doors.
The Suicide Car Doors, these short-lived. So I mean, those bands, obviously, Suicide especially. I mean, everybody knows that there's a connection there.
Yeah. The Pink Spiders. Have you ever heard the Pink Spiders?
Are you being serious?
Produced them. Oh yeah,
Oh, okay. No, I haven't heard.
Pink Spiders are. Oh, they had a song that was on the radio. I
Really?
think they're getting ready to put on another album. But yeah, Rick produced their debut.
Interesting.
Here's another one though. This
Okay.
one blows my mind because I'm not really sure on this one.
Okay.
No, I don't want anybody to get me wrong. I am not a fan of One Direction.
Ah,
I'm not a fan of One
dang.
Direction. But
Dang.
somewhere,
It's 1D.
yeah, 1D. But somewhere along the line, I heard this song, and I was like, God, that kind of sounds Cars-ish to me. I mean, it just did, and then I just kind of forgot about it. And we decided to do this episode, and I was like, what was that song? What was the song? And I searched and I searched and I searched, and I went to iTunes and went to the iTunes store and pulled up One Direction, and I listened to the preview of every fucking One Direction song, and I couldn't find this song. Okay, and then finally, I asked my wife. I said, honey, you know that One Direction, there's a song that kind of sounds Cars-ish or whatever. Do you know what song it could be? And she said, oh, I bet it's What Makes You Beautiful.
Oh
And
my
I go,
gosh.
what? I go, okay, well, I'll try it. And I played it, and I go, that's the one. That's the song. But I don't know I don't even necessarily think it doesn't have any influence. I don't even necessarily think it sounds that much like the Cars, but for some reason it strikes a chord with me. That it's got that some kind of vibe to it or something. You know what song I'm talking about?
I do. I have teenage girls.
Yeah. So you know the song. So am I way off base on this, or
Well,
what do you think it is about this song that's doing this?
So I
Making me
will,
think this.
okay, I will confess, I actually like that song. And I'm not a 1D fan. My one daughter is not. My other daughter is kind of, she was on the edge. She was never a big groupie of them. But I go roller skating with my daughter, my Lizzie, and so we love to roller. 1D always comes on at the roller skating rink, so we always think that's fun. Okay, so having said that, I always think that song actually sounds like it could be on the Grease soundtrack. That that
Yeah, that
doom
too.
doom
Yeah.
doom doom doom
hmm
doo doo doo. And so no, I never have associated it with the Cars. Are you gonna play a clip?
Yeah, sure. I'll play it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay. So now here's my other thing. In
please.
order for me to play this clip, I had to buy the fucking song.
David,
So yes, I've bought a One Direction song.
Dave,
But
you're a big
what is it?
fan.
It was 99 cents. Yeah, I'm a big fan. So
Yeah.
let me play this.
It's so Grease.
And I'm going to talk over it, but I don't know if it's the vocals.
Maybe it's that Rick right there. That
Yeah.
oh.
But it's that wall of sound that's coming in the chorus right now.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And I don't know I'm beautiful. I don't.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know.
you are, Dave.
Everyone's beautiful in their own way.
They are. That's true. And while it ain't easy being green, you, my friend,
Yeah.
light up my life. So there you go.
Everyone has an official record that follows them around. It starts in your kindergarten year, and it follows you the rest of your life.
Okay.
And now on my official record is a fucking One Direction
That's
song.
right. You know what it says on there? It says you shouldn't have graduated because you never took some test you were supposed to take to graduate. And now it says you're a One Direction groupie. So
Yeah.
I hope you're proud of yourself.
And now from iTunes I'll be getting suggestions.
You will.
What's the guy's name with the hair, the swoopy hair that's in One Direction? He did a movie.
Is it Harry?
Dunkirk. He was in Dunkirk.
Okay. The only guy I think I know his name is is it Harry Styles?
Yes. Okay, that's him.
Because stuff from I see that in my feed on Twitter. I'm not exactly remembering who was a big Harry Styles fan, but they were going crazy for a while.
Yeah, there was something that used to be on Tumblr when I was on Tumblr about Harry Styles is he just what I needed and blah 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 and
That's
referencing
right.
the Cars. Yeah.
That's right. That went through on Twitter at some point because I remember thinking, huh? And I wasn't.
Hell?
Yeah, I wasn't. It wasn't. I hadn't been on Twitter very long when that was on there, and I was like, "What are they talking about?" Because no.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do. I'll stand with you because I'll say I did. I had my shoulders kind of shaken. I do like that song, and there's actually a version of it that was put out by the Mormons, I think. That was called. I think it was called "Virtue Makes You Beautiful" or something like that.
Really?
It was a song about modesty.
Virtue makes you beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, and it's and so it's the whole. It was
was it sang by some guy and his 10 wives?
It was a bunch of Mormon dudes in their button-up shirts and their nicely combed hair. There's a whole video for it and stuff. And when my girls were young, it was that's a message I want them to have, is to dress modestly, to think about their appearance and things like that, as you're raising girls. And so that was actually the first time I ever heard that song, but I heard it as a Mormon version and didn't realize that it was a One Direction song until later. So maybe I'll just delight the Facebook world by posting the Mormon version in our group.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So the last influence I was going to talk, if we still have time, is remember the Turbocharge movie?
Yes.
The Dave Juskow, is that his name?
Yep.
Juskow. That he came to mind when I was researching and planning for this topic too, because he wrote that his song for that, and I wish I had a clip of it, but I don't. But
You know what? I've got it, but
do
I'll be
you?
darned if I know where it is.
Yeah, that's okay, because that's another thing we should. Well, if we have enough
Yeah.
on it to do an episode about it, but turbocharge would be
Yeah.
something to talk about in the future
But,
too. So
yeah, he was obviously influenced. I mean, because he's writing a song
and a
for the movie
movie, yeah,
Turbocharged, so
yeah.
he had to take that, um, you know, things that make the cars and put it into a song. But
He did a great job.
yeah, and he on his podcast he was talking about how he took like, okay, this part here, yeah, this is like
Take it
from
up or whatever.
yeah, and this part is from
You Are the
what was
Girl.
the other song? You Are the Girl, yeah, and that kind of stuff. So, and
Yeah.
hey, we listen to his pod. He should be listening to ours.
I agree.
Right?
I
Yeah,
agree.
I
I
agree.
think so.
Yeah.
Quid pro quo, Dr.
Quid
Lecter, as I like to say.
pro quo. Yeah.
That's right. That's
All right.
right. I'll be sure and let's tweet him that. Your turn, buddy. Your turn.
Perfect.
That's right. We
All right.
mentioned you. You better listen.
So let's end our Cars influences with this gem of a song
Oh, yes.
that I'm gonna play. I'm gonna give a little disclaimer.
All right, let's hear it.
This song first. This
Disclaimers.
this is a song that will probably haunt me for the rest of my life. It's on my official permanent record. Back in the early 2000s, my school district had kind of a push towards peace education, and they had people. I think there's like 4 or 5 people in the district who were, I can't remember the name of the program, but they were this program, and they would go around to the schools, and they had a little dog, and he was the peace dog, and they would have songs, and one of the things that I used was a program called the Second Step program, and it's an anti-violence empathy kind of program, and it came with like a little cassette of songs, but the main character, and this is like for K through 2 kids.
Okay.
So the main character was this puppet. This puppet would come with a program, and his name was Slow Down Snail. All right? So you had this big ass snail puppet. All right.
Okay.
And you would like have him talk to the kids. Oh, when you're impulsive, kids, you gotta slow down, stop and think.
What the heck?
And, I do the voice and all that kind of stuff. Well, Slow Down Snail didn't have his own song. They had all these other songs like, if you're feeling something, tell an adult, da 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 da, And I'd play these songs on my guitar for the kids, but it's like Slow Down didn't have his own song, so I wrote a Slow Down Snail song, and I'm not going to play that one for you.
Oh, Dave. Oh, you're not?
It's horrendous. Maybe I'll send it to you, Donna. It's horrendous because here's what I had. I had my computer. I had early GarageBand, and I have limited talent. And as far as production values go, I have none of it. None of it. My idea of production values is just put reverb all the way up so I could sing. So, I would go through and I'd plug my guitar in and I'd put like down like a simple drum beat, simple bass beat, and I'd play my guitar, and then I'd go back in, and with the track running, I'd have my earphones in, and I'd be in the very seat that I'm in now, and I'd sing. All right, I'd sing these lyrics, but I ended up writing like a whole album's worth of songs. I just got into this like creative peace education thing, and and I wrote all these songs, and and people liked them. That's what was crazy. The kids loved them. They're cool kids. But what really weirded me out was that I posted these. I had like a MySpace page and stuff like that, and started connecting up with other peace educators, and these other educators liked these songs, and I started getting like letters and emails from like not just across the country, but from like around the world. People asking me if they could use this song for a video or use this song for their play or whatever. And
Wow,
there's
wow.
one song from India. Somebody contacted me from India.
Wait, did
So
the Turks, did any of the Turks contact you?
none of the Turks contacted me.
Well,
But
okay, we'll keep that in mind when we're thinking about
India
how.
it really freaked me out. And I was like, what if I'm like really big in India and don't know it?
You've got your picture up.
Yeah, who knows? But um, some I think it was in Canada, a school contacted me, wanted to use like 2 or 3 songs. I'm like, yeah, go for it, whatever, it's all for the kids. And they ended up like sending me a videotape of this like interpretive dance.
Oh, wow.
It was so cute. The kids were so cute, but it was, it is what it is. But
Oh.
anyway, so one of the songs that I ended up doing was called the Peace Song. And, I just wanted to have some song with, talking about the world and Martin Luther King Jr. and so forth. And I decided at that point, because, a lot of these songs are just kind of folksy and that kind of stuff. And this one I decided, nope, I'm going to make a song that sounds like the Cars. I want it to be carish. I want it to have that vibe to it. So that's what I set out to do. Okay. So I don't know if it sounds or reminds anybody of the Cars or not. I just know that I did it. I know that it's bad, but I know the kids dig it. The kids dig it. And the funniest thing is that when my oldest granddaughter, when I gave her an iPod, I put this album of my songs that I recorded years ago on it. And she would listen. She listened just listened the hell out of this thing.
Oh.
And she never knew it was me. She never knew it was me. You'd put her to bed, and then you could hear it playing. And also there was another parent who told me at school there was a kid that I would do like these sing-alongs at school. We would have January would be Peace Month, and I would sing a lot of these songs that I wrote. And so some kids, I had it at some point where I told kids if they brought in a blank CD, I'd make a copy of all the songs for them.
Okay.
And a parent came in and told me, little Johnny, he really likes those songs you do. He won't go to bed unless we play them for him. I said, well, it puts kids to sleep. What can I say? But, lo and behold, so many years later, there's my granddaughter, kind of doing the same thing. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's really special. That's special.
Yeah. So to give, my enemies ammunition against me, I'm gonna play. I'm not gonna play all of this. I'm gonna play, just part of it. But just to give you an idea of how I tried to make this song carsy, the peace song. So here we go.
Okay.
It's the first time playing this on radio or whatever you want to call it. Here we go. Drum loop. Okay, that's enough. I'm cringing up. So
I have heard that song before. I actually
sent it to you.
No, I heard it otherwise. When my kids were little, I bought a Turkish lullaby CD, and that was it. It was called
on it.
Peace and Love from the Turks, and
it
was there. Yeah.
Peace. Love for the Kids. Actually, the album title is Songs for Peace Kids.
Oh, very nice.
And I did, how many songs are on this thing? 13.
Very nice.
13 songs. Let me just give you some of these song titles.
Okay.
Slow Down, Stop and Think, which was the Slow Down Snail song.
Okay.
Heavy on the reverb on that one. It's okay to be mad.
Okay.
The Color of Peace. Just Me. Peace Kid Rock. RESPECT.
Oh.
Suck it to me, suck it to me, suck it to me. The Egg Song. Oh, the Egg Song. I forgot about the Egg Song. That's it. I like that one.
Sounds like
a Great Big Box of Peace. 1, 2, 3 Turtle Power. That's all about if you're feeling mad, you go inside your shell.
Ah.
Yeah. Walk Away. Peace is What I Do. Oh, and actually, there's only 12 songs.
Oh.
13th is a harmony remix.
Oh.
Peace Kid song.
Bonus
where I actually
feature.
decided to harmonize with myself.
Oh, Dave.
Yeah. So it's all pretty cringy, but there you go.
You know what though, Dave? It's pretty awesome because so you have little ones, your little grandkids. So have you seen like oh gosh, what is their names? With Captain Feathersword and those guys, or like the Wiggles. Have you seen the Wiggles?
Yeah, the Wiggles, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as an adult, as an individual human in the world, the first time I saw that, I was like, oh, would you please? And then as a mom, you just go, you know what? I love you for doing what you do for kids. You know what I mean? Like you watch the Wiggles and go, thank you for entertaining my kids in a healthy way, whatever.
Yeah.
So you kind of fall in that category with your debut Peace album that you did that you might think it's cringy, but I'm just saying you did something for the kids. And as a mom, you always get kudos for that.
It's for the kids.
For the kids.
And that's what I've always said. You know what? The kids dig it.
And that's and that's the thing.
It's not big on production values like this podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I look back at that now and it's nice to have that. It's because it was a time in my life where I was really into something and feeling creative and the whole bit. And but the Peace song really cracks me up because I'm obviously going for the Greg thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm going for the Greg thing with that
synthesizer riff. Yeah, well, and I can totally picture him bobbing back and forth with his bleach blonde, his dyed hair, just bopping back and forth while he's playing it. That was so Greg. Yeah, I'd buy it.
I can also remember when the line where it says, God, I can't even remember the line. Da-da-da, something day by day. And going down on that because I thought it sounded Carsy.
Ooh, nice.
It's like you even got it like this kind of a Benjamin thing, or whatever.
You totally gave yourself a fist pump. You were like, yes, nailed it. Yeah.
Nailed it, man. Yeah. Crushed it. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for you. Good job.
You remember when I was talking about using Greg's music on the school video?
Yes,
and how they would ask for whatever. I did put out a few videos during this time and use songs from this album. And not like videos of me, like videos of the kids.
I'm like, Dave, what? Did you wear a blonde mullet wig? Oh, okay.
No. No, this is like, activities we were doing for peace education and stuff. And, you need background music. So I'm like, okay, I'll just use these songs that I did.
Okay,
and the district actually contacted me, said, do you have, the copyright or permission to use this music? And I went, yeah, it's me.
Yeah, I wrote that.
That was a fist pumping time.
I bet that.
Heck yeah. That was even more than sending the email from Greg Hawkes. Was like, yeah, it's me. I give myself permission.
In your face, school district.
In your face.
I guess that's not very peace loving, is it, to say that? But...
Yeah. In your face. Yeah.
Peace, my brother.
Which, hey, here's a good segue to that. In your face.
Oh.
Let's just go right into you are a flick fandango phony.
Oh boy. All right.
It's my new thing.
It is. And
show me.
Lots of fodder for it out there in the internet world.
I have to call out bullshit.
Yes,
I
you
have
do.
to call it out bullshit.
Oh, I gotta use that.
Last week, the one that we did. I could call it out again this week from one of the ones last week, but I'm not going to. There we go. Number 1. Here's to you, teenage Tumblr girl,
Aw.
believing that EE's joke about switching from righty to lefty because it looked cool was a serious quote.
Oh. Poor kid.
Bless her heart. Little Tumblr
Yeah.
girl. And by the way, Elliot has only 9 fingers.
Yes, remember people? We talked about this.
Yeah. You're a fandango phony,
Oh.
but you're young.
Yeah.
You are young, and
There's
there's still
time.
hope for you.
Yeah, there's time for her to outgrow it.
She never messaged me back, by the way. I messaged her.
Oh, she didn't respond. I meant to
Yeah, she
ask
didn't
you.
respond to me. Yeah. But I mean, I said it very nicely. Hey, this is just a joke that he made, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Bless her heart. All right. Number 2,
Okay.
another eBay guy. Here's to you, eBay guy, who's selling a, quotes, rare Cars t-shirt for a ridiculous price. Hell yeah, it's rare because you made it.
Oh,
You made it in
boom.
your mother's basement.
Boom.
Yeah. It's like I have a plethora of these handmade Cars t-shirts. Does that make me a rich man? Does it?
Well, you wish it would.
My Rick Fly socks must be worth a fortune then.
Yeah, yeah.
I think. Anyway. eBay dude, you're a flick fandango phony.
Yeah.
All right, here's my last one.
Okay.
Here's to you, and I came across this one while looking for stuff on Panorama. Here's to you, Boston Phoenix's Deborah Frost. Have you read this review?
I might have. That sounds familiar.
You reviewed Panorama way back when. Her quote is, certainly, some of their fans will think they're really putting their necks on the line this time. Bullshit. If they are, it's not because the music or ideas behind it are so brainy, but because this is a slapdash job.
I remember reading that.
Deborah, you are a flick fandango phony.
Yeah, and you know what else? Funk
What?
after death, lady. That's you.
The funk after death.
Yeah, that's the ultimate.
You got it.
Wow.
All right, so that's it for Flick Fandango Phony.
All right.
Zoom right into the midnight scroll. We got some scroll. to read.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll let you go first.
I still got to get our audio for that. Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
Wait, you just want me to play the peace song? Is that right?
No, we're good.
A world
Thanks,
of hope
though.
in the midnight scroll.
Ooh, there you go. Okay. So you sent me, where did it? Okay, here is a message you sent
Oh,
me.
wait.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you let me go first? Because I have 2.
Oh, okay.
And then you can go in the middle.
Okay.
My first one is from Abib Raha.
Oh,
Abib Raha.
hi.
I'm guessing that's how I pronounce it.
Okay.
Says, hi. During our outreach campaign, I found your website through Google.
What?
I need a couple of posts on your website, and I will pay you via PayPal for hosting my unique articles.
Stop.
I have a team of U.S. writers, and I will provide you high-quality contents related to your website. Please tell me, how much do you charge per post?
Hey,
And to that, you know what? You can't afford us, Abib.
how come
We
Abib's
are the
not?
#1 longest-running podcast about the cars. You can't afford us.
Wow. I thought the Midnight Scroll was gonna be serious.
This is serious. This is a serious email that I got to nightthoughtspodcast@gmail.com. Hey, they're all fair game.
I guess. I just was
It's
so.
Abib. Oh, he has a picture.
Oh,
Can I see a picture of Abib?
I don't-
I can't get his little picture to come up.
you be careful what you're clicking on from Abib.
Oh, Abib is a cool dude.
Really?
He's got the shades on, and he's got a shirt like unbuttoned down to his chest hair.
It sounds like Abib is a prime candidate for some of David's graphics work. I wonder if he knows El Glen. Is he a friend of El Glen Douche?
I think, you know what? I think him and El Glenn would get together famously.
Well, I'm sure we'll see evidence of that shortly.
Yeah. But he's busy doing his outreach campaign.
Well,
You know, he
right,
needs to put a couple posts on my website, which I
right.
don't have.
Well, maybe you guys got
Unless
to pancakes together, you and him and El Glenn,
I
and
think so.
talk it over, come to terms.
Good old Abib. Thank you, Abib. Raha.
Yes. Thanks,
All
Abib,
right.
for being part
Yeah.
of our show.
Yes. All right, you can go.
All right. This is an email from Carol, our friend Carol, and she has a question for us. She says, "Hi, Dave and Donna. Have just watched and listened to one of John Mortis's brilliant live recordings of the Cars and noticed a clipping in the video referring to a court case regarding Shake It Up and Let's Go. Have you come across anything about this?" And then she says, "Love the podcasts, Carol."
I have both of those things.
You what?
I have on both of those things. One, there was a newspaper article. I never got to the bottom of the whole thing, but somebody did file a lawsuit against Rick Ocasek for Shake It Up.
Really?
And I bet I still have it on my computer. It was in some newspaper, and it didn't say exactly what, if it was the music or the lyrics or exactly, what the deal was. But yeah,
Huh.
I think I posted that on Twitter once.
Well, we'll have to do some research about that.
Yeah.
Because maybe we can find that and post it, find the article itself and post it and follow up. And there's one about Let's Go too? I haven't heard of either of these, so I'm glad you know something
Deal with
about it.
Let's Go, and I'll be damned if I can find the clip, because I heard the clip that is based on, but some band from back in the 60s
Okay.
filed suit against Rick when Let's Go came out, and they've really got a case. The song is like a surf music kind of song, but the song goes, "Let's go, let's go," and then it starts like into the music or whatever.
Okay.
And it's it's very, well, let's just say it's very, very similar to the drum beat, and then Let's Go in the song Let's Go.
Okay. Huh. I've never heard about that.
I saw it posted somewhere, I think, and somebody, you know what? I bet you John has the clip.
Well, immediately I'm like, we'll see if we can get in touch with John and see if he'll help us out.
We need anything, John's got it.
He really is he's so generous with sharing stuff and responding right away that, yeah, I'm sure that he'll direct us to the right place. If he doesn't have it, he'll tell me how I can get to it. So
yeah,
interesting.
I can't find that newspaper article and Shake It Up, but I know I've posted it in the past on Twitter.
Huh. Interesting. Well, that reminds me of, I know it's not the same, but recently, 2016, right? Car seat headrest, and Rick Ocasek slamming them down for just what I needed, not just what I needed, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. It was just what I needed. He wanted to sample it for a song, and then the asshat puts his album out without getting permission, and then Rick nixed it, and then he had to destroy all these albums that had been made, or CDs that had been made already, and then whined about it publicly. And then, of course, his fans got into it, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, I remember Paulina posting about it.
Yes, that's actually where I met one of my Twitter friends. Was getting in an argument over that, and then and I was saying more like, you just need to listen to the Cars, and so then now we just chat sometimes. So anyway, but I think the song was called "Just What I Wanted, Not Just What I Needed."
Yeah.
is the name of the song. And then, but it seems like the guy, like his agent or his manager or something, he thought he had permission. Like in his mind, it was, yes, you've been given permission, but it hadn't actually, I think he was given misinformation or something by his people.
Yeah.
It was some sort of big flub, but yeah. Yeah, so that was a interesting little thing that happened. So I wrote on my list, Carol, to research the Shake It Up and Let's Go. Well, that reminds me too. I remember reading in the Frozen Fire book, they had a lawsuit with one of their early managers at some point. And the lawsuit was mentioned, but I've never been able to find anything about that either. So there's some skeletons in those closets.
Actually, I know who you're talking about. Their first manager
Is it Fred?
was R. Frank Duché.
Ah!
Name sound familiar?
Yes, I see the connection.
Grandfather of L. Glenn Duché. It's French.
Right.
He was a French manager.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Which is why the France footage is now no longer available.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the Duchés got hold of it.
You know what? If France loved the cars as much as the Turks did,
oh, just think.
Wouldn't be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be a problem.
Wouldn't be.
Yep.
So thank you, Carol, for writing in. I appreciate the question, and we will do some research and find out. And Carol is one of our faithful listeners. She comments a lot. And so thank you, Carol, for listening. Appreciate it.
All right. And our last email.
Hang on. If this is some kind of spam, the Midnight Scroll is no place for spam. So make sure that this is legit.
Abib did not send 2 emails. This is, if you recall from our last podcast, Elizabeth sent us 2 emails, and I said I would save one.
Okay.
And Elizabeth, just want to let you, I appreciate your novelization that you sent. I don't think we can read the whole thing though. No offense, but so I'm going to kind of paraphrase and go through it. But it starts out, Dear Dave and Donna, you have mail. One of your listeners has learned how to type. Yes, Elizabeth. Kudos to you for not just writing an email, writing a lengthy email, because by golly, you've proved you can type. That is for sure.
Yes.
So she mentions about, once again, about the Benjamin in the desert and how Benjamin
saved Taco Tuesday.
I get really sad when I think about this. How Benjamin saved Taco Tuesday.
It turned out okay. Okay, Dave. Get it together.
Yeah. She says she hasn't laughed so much in ages. I wish everyone would have laughed. Not everyone was laughing.
In fact, some people were lost at Taco Tuesday.
But so she liked them.
Good.
But let me go down here. So she's really enjoying the banter between you and I, Donna.
Nice, thank you.
It's hilarious, and she's loving the discussion on the cars too. She says, Dave, you'll be glad to know that I'm about the same age as you, give or take a few months. She's 52.
Okay.
I started getting into the cars when I was 19 when I heard the song Drive. I heard the song being played on the radio and was blown away by Benjamin's voice. At this stage, I had never heard of the cars, but I wanted to find out more about them. And of course, there was no internet in those days.
Right.
Let me just go down a little more.
Be sure and forward this to me because I want to read all of what she says.
Yes, I will. Okay. So I was listening the other evening when you were talking about what Benjamin says in the song Cruiser. I always thought it was, I need a hit, I need a sha'ak. Is it not?
Oh.
Donna?
Anybody who knows me knows
this debate?
I have very strong opinions about what he says. It's suck.
Yeah.
Suck.
Even though the lyrics say sha'ak.
Or they say slug. The lyrics say you need a slug.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah, but he doesn't ever say that. I've never heard him sing that ever.
And she goes on to say, speaking of words to songs, in the Door to Door tour where Ben is singing the song Everything You Say, when he sings, Everything You Say Just Fills Me Full of Shine, I thought Ben was singing at first, Everything You Say Just Fills Me Full of Shite. Well, you know,
In
Elizabeth,
in 1987, he may very well have been singing that.
there are some people that come around in the Panorama that everything they do say is full of shite. But she says, everything you say just fills me full of shite, then looks over towards Rick. I thought I knew things were bad, but not that bad between them.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
She says, just one more thing. I totally agree about Todd Rundgren. What were they thinking of? But a question, what was the name the other guy you played that was in the running for it, and he wrote a couple of songs in the style of the Cars. He was awesome, and where can I find those songs? Elizabeth, I think you are talking about, God, I'm drawing a blank here, Donna.
Doug Powell.
Doug Powell. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about Doug Powell, his Four Seasons album is what you want to get. She says, you're doing a great job, guys. I'm a hooked listener now. Probably not after hearing the Peace song. Good luck in getting your media passes for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They've got to give you them. That would be like the Cars not getting into the Hall of Fame. Oh, well, thank you, Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah.
I think you need to speak to the man at the top, Rick himself. Well, Rick listens, you know. He's called in. You remember, Rick called in from Japan, all the boys.
I do remember that, yeah.
If he listened to your show, he would realize you just got to be there. So it says,
that's nice.
Thank you, love you guys, you're awesome, Elizabeth.
Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. That's really nice. That's really nice.
Very nice.
Yes. Oh, I wish Rick listened and said, hey, you know, not only am I going to get you into the Rock Hall, but afterwards, come on up to my place. You can walk my dogs.
And eat meatloaf.
And eat meatloaf. That's right. We'll play some video games and talk literature. And it'd be great.
Eat a little meatloaf.
Eat a little meatloaf. I wonder if well, he said he ordered out of the menu book, but I was thinking, does Paulina make meatloaf? I bet she does.
Oh, I'm sure she does.
I'd like to taste that meatloaf. So, Rick, call me.
Yeah, call us.
Yeah, either one of us. Give us a call.
All right.
You know, when she mentioned that about Doug Powell, when I was listening to that Peace song, you had kind of a Doug Powell thing going on there. You had a Doug Powell vibe.
Really?
Yeah.
The music or with the voice?
Both. You got kind
really?
of you got a Doug Powell voice for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen to it again.
I never thought of it that way, but I guess, yeah.
It's true. Oh, it's true. Did I tell you he did listen to our podcast? Did you know that?
Doug Powell did?
Yeah. Okay, so I had messaged him asking him if he wanted to be on the podcast. Did I tell you that?
Oh, wait. So that's why he doesn't want to be on the podcast. You let him listen to the podcast.
No. Before, I invited him and said, we're doing the podcast. We're talking about the new Cars. We're going to be talking about the songs that you wrote. And we would be honored if you thought you could join us for any or all of the recording. Well, he was actually going to be out of the country. He wrote me back like within 24 hours. I'm honored that you asked me. I'm flattered. Thank you. And he said, I'm going to actually be out of the country. And he did say, too, you know, I don't want to ever come across like I feel like I had more part in that than I really did. I wrote some songs. It is what it is. You know, like he was very humble about it. So then after we recorded, I wrote him back and sent him a link. And I said, we did end up doing the show. We mentioned you. I hope that you felt like we did you justice. And he wrote back and said, thank you so much. He really appreciated it. He liked it. And then he actually sent me a couple of links. So I need to forward those to you. I was thinking that I intended to right away. But he was very kind and, like I said, just very humble and appreciative. And so, yeah, I dig Doug Powell for sure.
So just think of all the Todd Rundgren bashing we did on that episode.
Oh, I know. Whoops. Well, we weren't.
Hey,
too
Todd,
bad.
you got to give this podcast a listen.
Well, you know, we did clarify in there that, hey, aside from the new Cars, I'm sure Todd is a talented artist. He's had his fingers in lots of pies. He deserves Lots of kudos and attention for the things that he's done. In the new cars, no. Be done.
You just had some bills to pay.
Okay, which also reminds me, because sometimes we joke about that things being a money grab. I can't remember if I already said this, so if I have, I'll edit it out, but I probably won't because I'm too lazy. But I don't think there's anything wrong with a money grab in some cases. So, for example, because you know what? That's what they do. That's how they earn their money. So if they do more of it to earn more money, that's okay, right? That's their career. I mean, there are cases where okay, I'll agree to do this project only because I want the money, not because I believe in it, but I need the cash. That's a money grab. That's, stinky. But to say that like Elliot or Greg were doing it for a money grab, I don't know that that's true because those were their songs. Those, that's part of their history and their legacy, and they wanted to play those songs, and I buy that. I buy that reason, and they want to get paid for it. Absolutely, please do. You wrote those solos. You wrote those synth parts. Get paid, big time. So I'm okay with that. I just had to say that.
All right. Well, so ends episode 21. We're at the end. Donna.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Ooh, come find me on Twitter at Sweet Purple June. You can find me on my blog, which I've mentioned, www.sweetpurplegune.wordpress.com. And I have a Facebook page called Benjamin Orr punctuation mark Sweet Purple June. What punctuation mark is that?
Yeah, that's colon.
It's a colon. That's
it's
right.
Colon. And you can find us both on our Night Thoughts page on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter at night_spots.
Yes.
And I'll soon be having my new Facebook page up. Turks love the cars.
Sure, people.
Get your t-shirts. So till next time, people, we will see you. We're out of here.
Thanks. Bye.